Hey guys, how's it going? Solo back with another daily update video, and kind of a rough day in the market today again, right? We're going to do a couple things today. We'll talk a little bit about the market overall. I'm going to talk about my positions on AMD because AMD did not really have a great day today. We'll talk a little bit about Tesla earnings that just happened, and we'll also talk about space because space had an eventful day today, and I'll just leave it at that. So let's get right into it. Look at the heat map here. You can see a lot of red on the board. Facebook had a big day today, up 4.2%. Google also had another big day today, but other big tech stocks were pretty much flat. Amazon down 1%. But take a look at AMD. AMD was down almost 3%, which is actually surprising because I was watching this ticker all day long, and it was kind of fluctuating between about 1.5 to 2% in the red, and then during power hour, it just kind of sold off hard. Nvidia was kind of flat, down a little less than 1%. Even Micron was red today, so that's how you know it was a bad day when Micron has a bad day. But let's take a look at my AMD positions and kind of get my thoughts about what my plans are. So I own 200 shares of AMD. I have a cash secured put at the 75 strike that expires this Friday, and I have two covered calls at the 89 strike that expire the following Friday, October 30th. So as we can see, I mean, we opened up pretty much flat and just sold off all day long. Luckily, in after hours trading, we bounced back a little bit and are now trading flat. So we are still over 2% down from where we were yesterday. I mean, we were in the 80s, and we'll take a look at the technical analysis chart in a second. This is going to be another critical level because around $80 was an area of support that I identified. So I'm really concerned now if we have another red day tomorrow. You know, my 75 puts are getting a little anxious. Let's take a look at the options chain because I'm still profitable on them though, just because so much time has passed since I opened them last week. So if I went to sell that put for this Friday at the 75 strike, you know, I would collect $21 if I wanted to buy it back right now. I sold it for 26, so I am up $5. You know, depending on how I sleep tonight, if I don't get a lot of good sleep, maybe tomorrow morning, right when the market opens, I'll just buy this back to close out the position. Because right now, you know, with the market kind of being very choppy, this stimulus bill that's being rumored, it seems like every other hour about how Nancy and Steve are going to chat, and then they're going to say they couldn't agree, then they're going to chat again, and they couldn't agree, they couldn't chat again, they're not going to agree. So the market doesn't like that. I don't like that. AMD certainly doesn't like that. So I may just buy it back tomorrow just for a little bit of profit, a little bit of taco money, and just sleep better at night and not have to worry about it because I really don't want to get assigned another 100 shares of AMD right now, especially if the market decides it wants to sell off as a whole again. So we'll have to see what happens overnight, pre-market, and where we are tomorrow. I mean, if we have one green day, I think if either tomorrow or Friday is green, I should be safe at 75. Now, before we get to the TA charts, let's just look at the covered calls that I've sold for the following Friday, October 30th. I mean, these are super profitable because I sold them all the way up here at the 89 strike, and I sold them for $250 in premium. I could buy them back for $94 right now, so $250 minus $94. I'm up $156 per contract right now, and I have two of these contracts, so I'm actually up $312. There's no reason for me to close these out early right now. I'm just going to let these things ride till next Friday and expire worthless so I can collect max profit and don't have to pay any extra commissions to buy these options back. There's no reason for me to. And let's take a look at the technical analysis chart and I'll tell you why. So here's the chart on AMD. These are all, again, daily candles, so each candle represents one day of trading. You can see we've had now 6 red days on AMD in a row. You can see yesterday we closed above this area of support at a little over $80. Today we blew past down below it, which is not a good sign. I told you before, if you saw my video from yesterday, that it was going to be a key trading day today because we were right on the 21 and 50-day moving averages, which are the orange line and pink line respectively. But again, we blew past both of those, which were also going to act as support, but now they're going to be a little bit of resistance. So tomorrow, what I want to see tomorrow to have a more of a bullish sentiment than I do right now, I need AMD to close above about high 80s or ideally above $81. I need it to close below this area of support, because if it doesn't, then this is now going to be resistance. And the next area of support is at about $78. So that's why I say I'm pretty confident. Even if we have 2 red days in a row, tomorrow and Friday, I still think my 75 strike, which is going to be down here, which we really haven't traded at 75 since late September, I think that's going to be okay, because AMD would have to drop by about $4, and $4 out of the $79 it's trading at would be a drop of about 5% in 2 days, which is a lot. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but it is a lot. I mean, today we dropped 3%. So if we had 2 of those days in a row where we dropped 3%, another 3%, yeah, my 75 puts could get assigned to me. But like I said, if we trade flat even or green for 1 day, I don't think AMD is going to be able to drop 5% in a day. I just don't think it's that volatile of a ticker. Knock on wood. I mean, never say never, but that's why I think I'm going to be okay. But like I said, it's just going to depend on how well I sleep tonight and how nervous I get, because I really don't want to get assigned 100 more shares of AMD, because as of right now, it looks like I am sort of bag holding my 200 shares that I got assigned at 85. Now, I have been selling some covered calls against them. I had some really juicy covered calls that I'm selling on them right now. And like I said, those covered calls expire the following Friday, October 30th, and they're at the 89 strike. And I don't think AMD is going to break above 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5 areas of support in a little over a trading week. So I'm most likely going to let my covered calls expire worthless for max profit, which would be a total of $500 in profit in 2 weeks. Hopefully, I get to keep my full max profit on my cash secured puts, which would be another $26. And then I can open up some more covered calls for the following trading week in the first week of November, or maybe a little bit later, depending on how the premiums look. Now, I do think, if we're going to trade choppy for the rest of this week and next week as well, I probably will sell my covered calls right at my $85 that I was assigned at. One, because I'll collect a good amount of premium, and mostly because I want my shares to get called away right now. This market is making me a little bit nervous with the election coming up as well. I don't want this market to sell off, meaning I don't want AMD to go to like 70 and my cost basis is somewhere in the 80s, right? Because then I'm, again, bag holding. Now, I'm okay with that if it does happen, because AMD is, in my opinion, a good company. I think they will rebound at some point. I'll just keep selling covered calls until they do. But I'd rather just be all cash and not in that position, because if I can get my shares called away, and let's say AMD's in the low 80s or 85 or 86, I can still run wheel on AMD. I can just sell more cash secured puts, but this time I could sell them in like the high 70s or maybe the mid 70s. And that way, if I get assigned shares of AMD again, I'm at a lower cost basis than I am right now. Looking back at this chart, getting assigned at 85 is kind of too high right now, right? In retrospect, I kind of got in at the peak. So that's why I'm really trying to get those shares called away. But we'll see how the week shakes out. We'll see what the premiums look like. I am really liking the options that are 2 weeks out, because they get me a little bit extra premium, and it seems like there's less volatility, there's less gamma risk in the premiums. So I am liking the 2 week out range. It does get a little bit boring because there's not a lot of action that happens when you're 2 weeks out, but it is what it is. As long as you're making money, I'm happy. And I told you we're going to take a look at Tesla. So let's take a look at Tesla right now. So Tesla had its earnings today. Right now, it's kind of flat. I mean, it's at 422.64. We closed the day right there, and we're up actually $11 at 433. Honestly, I thought Tesla was going to drop after earnings, to be honest with you. Let's see what their earnings. We don't have the numbers yet on TradingView, but I was expecting Tesla to drop because I think it dropped on the prior earnings. Yep. So on August 31st, oh, that's the split. This is the earnings here. Yeah, we had, let's see, it basically hit the earnings exactly, and we had a big red candle the next day. But surprisingly, looks like at least after hours, we're green right now. We're up about $11. Actually, it looks like now $12 compared to where we closed the market. It'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. We might still have a sell-off. Well, who knows? But, I don't have any trades on Tesla right now. I once played a put credit spread on Tesla, which looking back was kind of crazy, but I was able to collect, I believe, $260, I think, in max profit on that credit spread, if I remember correctly. But the other big story today was space, or Virgin Galactic. Let's take a look at it on Robinhood, and that will tell you the real effect of what happened today. So Virgin Galactic, boom, came crashing down to the earth. It was down 11.25%. It's rebounding a little bit after hours, but that's a big move even for Virgin Galactic. If you saw my video from last night, I called it out. I did a little bit of technical analysis in the second half of my video last night, and I said that I thought space was going to pull back. So, you know, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I am a little bit tooting my own horn. So let's take a look at the TradingView graph on space. Look at this big red candle. This big red candle is just about this big red gap up there. And it scares me, but I think we're okay. I think we're going to have a green day in space tomorrow. And the reason is, look where we ended up. We pretty much closed right on this orange line, which is the 21-day moving average, which is going to act as support. And I'm sure this $20 level that I've identified as trend is also going to act as support. So I think tomorrow we're going to have a little bit of a rebound, and I'm sure space is probably going to kind of bounce up and off to that. I don't know why it came like curved like that, but I think we're going to go up. So I wouldn't fret if you do have shares or options on space. Like I said, not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion based on what I'm seeing in the chart analysis. Because you can see, I told you yesterday that we were a little bit high from this trend line. I thought we'd have a pullback closer to the trend line, closer to the moving averages. And that's exactly what happened today. But I think tomorrow we're going to rebound and probably, if I had to guess, probably close tomorrow somewhere in the high 20s or low 21s would be my guess. We are basically right in the middle in terms of the RSI curve being overbought or oversold. Keep in mind that we do have a gap to fill from about 1650 to about low 18s. So I don't think we're going to fill that gap right now unless the whole market sells off, but that gap does exist right now. I think this was just a little bit of a much needed pullback because remember, on this day, we had a 25% gain. So I think we were running on highs a little bit, and this was just a little bit of a correction to kind of cool things down, cool down the jets, if you will. But that was my trading day for today. So big news really was space for today, but I am thinking about how to manage and deal with my AMD positions right now because we've had a few red days. Let me know if you have shares on space or AMD or options open. Let me know if you were crazy enough to trade Tesla for earnings and how you're doing. Hope everybody is green. As always, if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and happy trading.